Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 6, 2024, and we are gathered here today for our town board meeting, the first town board meeting of the month of February. At this time, as we start all our meetings, we would like to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Claudette, would you mind leading us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Claudette. Okay, I have a couple announcements to make before we get started. Number one, and probably a very important announcement, is the pre-submission meetings that we handle every Tuesday here in the town, for whatever reason, have been closed to the public. And in researching our town code and in talking to my staff and in talking to other towns, we realized that these meetings, according to our code, the meetings should be open. And at some point in time, they were open years ago, from what I understand, going back maybe in time to when Barbara Blass was on the town board. And then when I came on the town board 8 years ago, they were closed. So somewhere in that time period, they were closed instead of made open. The code says they should be open, and they will be open. We have nothing to hide. We have people are very suspicious about these meetings, and there's no reason to be. So they will be open to the public. They'll be similar to a work session. Public is welcome to attend, but there won't be a back and forth with the public on the items that are being discussed. That will be discussed amongst the group that's working on the planning pre-submission committee. Okay. Those meetings are on Tuesdays at 9:30. They've been upstairs in the past since we moved here, but we're going to have them here in the town boardroom again so the public can attend. And that it will be posted, the agenda for those meetings will be posted on Friday prior to the Tuesday meeting at 9:30 in the morning. So that's one announcement. Who here is going to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday? Where's our money going, people? Who? San Fran, yeah.
Kansas City all the way.
The story of the San Francisco quarterback is too good for me not to root for them. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, as many people know. My team didn't make it there this year. But I love the story of Brock Purdy and how he was the last person picked in the NFL draft. And to see him take his team to the Super Bowl, I think is pretty cool. So good luck this weekend, everybody, whoever you're rooting for, and enjoy the weekend. And we'll get on to our town board meeting.
Tim, wasn't Tom Brady at the end of the pick, too?
Tom
Brady at the end of the pick, way long ago?
No, well, not at the end. He wasn't the last one. He was a seventh rounder.
Oh,
But yes, he was late in the draft when he was picked, and it just
So
is
late drafts can do well.
hidden diamonds in the rough out there all over the place.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have no minutes to approve, so we will move on to correspondence and reports from the town clerk, James Wooten.
Do we want to start with an invocation?
Yep, actually, we want to do the invocation first. I'm very sorry about that.
That's okay.
Ken, would you?
We are very pleased and honored to have our Reverend Lorraine Diarmid from a retired United Methodist Church minister. So thank you so much for joining us today.
What an introduction that is. Anyway, it's good to be here in a beautiful new room. Let us pray.
Just bend the mic down a little bit.
There you go.
See, you
Holy
forget.
One, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to speak with simple honesty, and in our actions to nurture the bonds of community. I ask that God would grant the people of Riverhead prosperity and peace. Amen.
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 Thank you very much,
Reverend.
Okay, under correspondence, we have a letter from Sarah Jones, reference conditions at Edwards and 25. We have Joseph and Marilyn DeLuza, as well as Gina Galeme, and also Zinab Fath Elbab, excuse my pronunciation, but they're all letters regarding the renumbering of Linda Lane East. We have a letter from Cindy Clifford, comments from the public hearing from the Tango revision from the last meeting, clarifying her position. We also have 2 letters from the Greater Jamesport Civic Association, one dealing with the cannabis zoning, and the other one dealing with the expansion of the Riverhead Charter School onto Sound Avenue. And also a letter from BID from Christy Verity, reference to Chapter 301 increase of park and rec fees. And that's it for correspondence.
Okay, do we have any reports?
Under reports, we have the Town Clerk Monthly Report for January 2024 at $10,475.45. We have the Tax Receiver Total Collection as of January 17th, 2024 at $87,024,832.11. As of January 24th, 2024, $92,122,430.28. And at the end of the month, on January 31st, $92,758,380.42. We also received a report from the Riverhead Sewer District, the Influent Gallonage Report for 2023, and also from the Building Department, their collection for January 2024 at $114,459. And that's it for reports.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wooten. We have 2 public hearings on the calendar for today. The first public hearing is timed for 2:05. It is now 2:08. And this public hearing is to amend Chapter 289, Vehicles, Traffic, and Parking Regulations. And I will ask for Councilor Hurley to come up to the microphone and explain.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So just quickly, some background before the public hearing on this opens up. This was discussed at a work session in detail, but for those who didn't attend the work session or watch it, I'll reiterate. So the reason this code came about, we were getting reports from residents and PD about towing. They would leave their car in a shopping center. They would come back after shopping. Their car wasn't there. They thought it was stolen. They eventually found out that it was towed, and then they were stuck paying over $600 to get their car back. There was also an opinion article in the local newspaper about these overly aggressive towing policies. So this topic was brought to Code Revision Committee. I researched the Suffolk County towing policy, Brookhaven Town policies, and through Code Revision Committee, we tailored this code to meet the needs of the town of Riverhead. So what this details is a plan for the owners that have these privately owned, publicly accessed parking lots, a plan for them to follow so that there are conspicuous signs, the reasons that towing may occur, the hours of towing, the tow company's name, and the phone number. It also details requirements that the tow company itself must meet. And most importantly, after a tow is completed, the tow company gives a form that we're calling the seizure authorization to Riverhead PD, so that Riverhead PD is put on notice right away that the tow has occurred. In case that individual calls PD looking for their vehicle, PD's able to direct that person to where they can retrieve their vehicle. It also puts a cap on how much the tow companies can charge. It's capped at $375, which is the municipal towing rate for the town. Mm-hmm. And it also contains a penalties section. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anybody from the public who would like to comment on this public hearing?
Oh, absolutely. I think I may have written that letter.
We'll get to the mic first.
State your name and
Yeah, my name's Adam Strauss. I've lived here since 2003. My wife has parked and used the jitney, pretty much every week for 20 years. Mm-hmm. We didn't even know that you weren't permitted to park in Roanoke Plaza parking lot. She parked there in August. This is after doing it for 20 years. And my son and I went 4 hours later to pick up the car. It was gone. We first called her to see if she had indeed parked there and not in Calverton or across the street, which seems to have been fine also. She had parked there. The next thing we did was we were going to call the police to see if it had been stolen. I mean, obviously that seemed like the only other possibility. Finally, my son saw a very small sign about towing that didn't really say anything about the jitney. It said something about overnight parking, fire zone, etc. But it had a number for the towed car. We called, they said $600 cash to retrieve it. We went, scurried the cash up, paid for it, got it, felt victimized and robbed and carjacked and really criminal, called the police about it the next day. They couldn't do anything because it's a private, property. So I called the manager, did some research about Brixmor, which is supposedly community-oriented, and they have a sign that says, "Let's grow together," which I want to change to "Let's tow together." But anyway, called the property manager. He would hear nothing of it. It was legal, etc. So I said, well, I'm going to, bring this to the public. I'm going to do something, So I wrote a letter. Dennis Civiletti published it in the local, Riverhead Local, and here I am. So I would urge, some kind of action, because it's really very uncool.
Can I make a suggestion that maybe that you contact the jitney and see if they'll lease X amount of
That's,
spaces?
they have been kind of opposed to that. They're not very helpful in that regard, but yes, that would be a very good solution, because you've got, Riverhead is growing. It's growing with people that go into Manhattan. It would be great if they could park legally somewhere other than Calverton.
Well, not to mention the bus stops are predominantly
The bus stops are right
places
there.
where there's parking
Exactly,
that's available.
exactly.
So,
And parking, and one thing we have
kind
in
of
Riverhead
implied
at this
that you would
point
park
is
there.
parking,
Right.
So, it's like, it seems easier to get towed here than it is in Manhattan, or in that case, in our case
Right.
it was. So that's just, to me, it's just unacceptable.
Will Brixmor do something about allowing X amount of spaces to be used?
I haven't had any communication with them since, this.
I
this
would try to
occurred.
open
They were
that line
very
up.
unhelpful or very adamantly opposed to doing anything, as far as I can tell. I could certainly check with them again about it, and the jitney as well.
But I also think many of the projects, site plan approval requires a certain number of parking spaces, for a particular shopping center and so forth. And that's how they come up with those numbers. So I think when the Hampton Jitney, using them as an example, not to single them out, but if you have, 20 cars parked out there, you may be offsetting the actual required parking space allotment for that particular business, because it's not calculated into equations when we're passing a site plan here. So, they do have ample parking on Edwards Avenue. Reality is it's only 2 or 3 miles down the road, so
Yeah,
it's not too
yeah.
far. And there's
Well,
adequate parking there, but
she's going there
it's-
now.
yeah.
She certainly doesn't leave it now.
But I think Danielle's done a great job addressing your concerns by, certainly, now we're gonna require, large signage, where it's going, what's going, what are the rules and regulations, So where, if you should find your car missing, where it's been brought to and so forth. And we're also capping off because $600 for a tow is
That's a bit-
crazy high,
Yeah,
but,
that's a expensive 4-hour parking.
so this also addresses a cap on those fees as well, making it more fair. So
Absolutely.
tried to approach it different ways.
It's actually a shame it can't be worked out, because every parking lot that we have in every shopping plaza has way more spaces than
It's
are
not- I
ever
mean,
needed.
my-
Our
my
code-
feeling is
Our
that-
code probably actually asks for too many spaces, quite honestly. And for those spaces sit there empty all day long.
They're empty
It's not
all-
hurting
all day.
anybody.
all day.
It's unfortunate,
You know,
but
it's like,
I agree with
I
what
mean,
Ken said.
it's like, let's put the trees back if we're not gonna
Yeah,
park. you know?
exactly.
I mean, what are we doing?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
But thank you for your letter,
bringing it to
because
our
you,
attention,
you
too.
started this, so thank you.
Yep.
And I hope you're satisfied.
And thank you, Danielle, for putting this together. I think this will make things much easier and much more in the open for the public to realize they should not park there overnight. Anybody else on this public hearing? Anybody online? Nobody online? Okay. It is now 2:17. I will keep the public hearing open for 10 days. Which brings us to the 16th, right. 2/16/24. Okay, we have a second public hearing. It was scheduled for 2:15. It is now 2:18. And this public hearing is to amend our procurement policy. And I would ask Councilor Prudente to come up and present.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This amendment is to our procurement policy, specifically the language regarding the language and requirements for apprenticeship. So this proposed amendment to the procurement policy increases the dollar value, which would trigger apprenticeship requirement, from $250,000 to $750,000, and/or 1,000 square feet would change to 250,000 square feet. The reason and the purpose essentially is, as the town board could appreciate and has appreciated, since COVID, the cost of goods, materials, services has skyrocketed. Our original language didn't account for that. I will tell you, I researched several other codes, and they all vary. The town of Hempstead, the trigger set in 2017 was 500,000. Here we are in 2024, and we were well below at 250,000. In addition, this policy allows for, quote, exclusions. Those exclusions are public contracts for a specific trade, which is not included among the list maintained by the New York State Commissioner of Labor, or such a trade is classified as miscellaneous or general, for which an apprenticeship agreement doesn't exist at the time of bid opening. It also exempts any construction contract wherein the town is receiving federal, state, county, or other funding, which precludes application of the apprenticeship section. And it excludes subcontractors performing work on a contract which is less than $100,000. Again, you know, you can do a compare and contrast against other apprenticeship programs. For instance, Town of Havishar subcontractor is less than $250,000. We're only going up to $100,000. And that's about it. I think Frank Mancini actually wants to comment because it's very relative to a lot of the competitive bidding that the water district is putting out. And he'll explain to you that actually the way our existing apprenticeship language is working, it's actually excluding and prohibiting competitive bidding.
Hi, I'm Frank Mancini, the Water District Superintendent. Thank you for having me. And I will just back Anne Marie up. And a lot of the trades we do are quite specific, like well drilling and horizontal boring. This particular standard we have is undermining our competitive bid process. We value all of our contractors, but we also value some of the smaller family-owned businesses that are more common here on the east end of Long Island than they were anywhere else. So when it comes to, say, a well drilling contract, we've got two really strong bidders as our number one and number two. Our number one is just under 500,000, and our number two is just under 900,000. So you can see this is costing my ratepayers a lot of money. Our number two bidder is a great company. They happen to have every other well drilling contract that I have right now. So, because no one else is really competitive because of this standard. The number one bidder, which is a great deal for us, is located on the east end, is the Water Authority's go-to contractor, so it's not like some fly-by-night contractor, and very popular if you're in your agricultural community here, you probably know them. So I think that we're unbalanced right now, and it's not equitable to either my ratepayers or the small family-owned businesses that we depend on. And we also depend on the larger ones. The same thing with our horizontal boring contract. We're lucky enough to have a very competitive and strongly bid contract. We had 5 bidders here, and we're looking at more of like $150,000 difference, and we're talking about a winning contractor that's local from Center Moriches. So I just want to make sure that we're getting the best deal and we're doing it equitably for our ratepayers. And I think right now, the way our standard stands, it's too heavily favored to the larger companies. Now, an apprenticeship program can be provided by the union, but it is also a standalone product you can buy. So it's not eliminating, you don't have to be in it or not. You can purchase this requirement, but it's just going to add cost to our work and to our ratepayers. We'll get less bang for the buck. Any particular questions for me?
No?
I just have one question for Anne Marie, if I can ask, on guideline 6, the end of 2A. It just says that general municipality law was originally expired in August of 2017 and has been extended to 2019. Do we know if anything has increased or changed since then, why we're revising this particular section of the code, if it's been updated since 2019?
I can certainly double check, but I don't have an answer for you, Ed.
I'm sorry, I'm just
Like to
reading it
research.
now, so I would normally
Yep.
try to point it out early, but just why we're doing it, if we have to change or update one more date.
Oh, no, I can tell you those, actually, I can answer that.
Okay.
Those requirements are still in effect.
Okay. Is there a new deadline on them, or no?
They just continue to roll over and roll over.
Okay.
Years ago, the monetary amounts were far less than $20,000 and $35,000. They were more like $5,000 and $10,000. But it hasn't gone up yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, in a sense, with this, say, 10 years down the road from now, we're going to have to probably revisit this and change it also because of inflation, cost of goods, so on and so forth, and
Absolutely. And the town board should be aware that the water district superintendent, myself, Karen in the office, when it came to the well drilling contract, we actually did significant reach out, and we contacted the Empire State Water Well Drillers Association, and they informed us there is no apprenticeship program for water well drillers. Then when we went higher up in the state acknowledged that fact, and they said, well, perhaps you could use like a general construction type apprenticeship program. But again, it's really not tailored to what this contract truly is.
Right.
And left in place, costing the ratepayers twice as much.
And I'm sure this isn't the only specialty where there's not an apprenticeship program for. So that's understood. I will say, though, that I really do appreciate the apprenticeship programs. I think they're an awesome way for a young person to get involved in a career, in a career that pays living wages for Long Island, and it allows them to stay here. But I understand it is better suited for the larger projects, and I get that. I've known several young men that have gone through the apprenticeship, and a young lady who went through it, and they're doing very well for themselves, and I'm glad they had it. College wasn't for them. They were more of a hands-on trades-type person, and there's a lot of people out there like that, and I think the apprenticeship does a great job for that. So
And
we're
most
not
of the-
alleviating it by any means.
Right. Most of the towns that I researched had either qualification or exemptions. We did not.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
Do we have anybody else from the public that would like to comment? Do we have anybody online? Nobody online? Okay, it is 2:27. I will close the public hearing and keep it open for written comments till February 16th, 2024. And that's all we have today on public hearings. We will move on now to comments on resolutions. Comments on any of the resolutions that are on today's calendar. Do we have anybody from the public that would like to come up and speak regarding our resolutions? Okay, we have 2 people online. Can we take person number 1? Okay.
Good afternoon, Mike Foley, Reese Park. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can, Mike.
Good afternoon. I'd like to comment on 2 of the resolutions, and we'll go in numerical order. Resolution 147, that has to do with the cannabis wording changes to the zoning. It's on page, I'm sorry, I think it's on page 169, but don't quote me on that. I just wanted to comment on it that there have been 3 or 4 meetings that Ken Rothwell chaired and made available to anybody that wanted to sit down and comment. And I was a participant in 2 or 3 of those meetings. And the first meeting kind of put in restrictions that after investigating the restrictions in the original zoning, really didn't open up more than a couple of plots, and certainly didn't have any ability to put 5 zones together, which would be the equivalent of about 6 retail stores, 2 of them being on Route 58 and 1 of them being in each zone designated from Wading River to Jamesport. Anne Marie and her staff and Ken looked at this hard and looked at the best way to open up a handful of places with the least amount of inconvenience for residential, lessening of the requirements of distance. And I thought they made a pretty common sense move. They went into areas where there was retail, where residents were within the location of the retail established, and wanted to put a handful of possible stores in all of the 5 areas selected, including Route 58, which there would be 2. There was a tremendous amount of pushback from the retail community. They felt that there were not enough stores available, that they needed more space. And as we had discussed in the early stages of this, we want to take our time on this. We don't know exactly what the impact on weed is going to be in the community retail environment. I think it will have a positive impact, but I think restricting the number of possible retail outlets was prudent. And like this zoning language has changed, we can implement additional changes down the road if we find out that the 6 that we're putting up there have already been a saturation point for the retail. There is more demand, and maybe we could put 1 or 2 in there, or maybe there isn't enough of a demand to handle 6 stores. So if there's only a need for 4, it's better to have 2 guys go out of business than 10. So there was for people that weren't in the know and weren't in the room, there was a tremendous amount of pushback to expand this well beyond what this new legislation proposes. I'm in favor of this legislation, and I think it is a matter of urgency to me now, knowing that there is a need and a public demand for retail weed. That retail weed is safe. You don't have to worry about any poisons or fentanyl and things on the street drugs that people worry about. And I was just curious, Ken or Anne Marie, one of the things I had a lot of back and forth with the retailers on was that they got to do their homework, that there are spaces out there. Go get a local realtor and have them do the work for you. Have them find locations that fit within this footprint and open up a store. I'd just like to check with Ken or Anne Marie, if you're comfortable answering the question. Have any of these retailers come back successfully to let us know that there are, in fact, a couple places that they are getting ready to open? I see at the podium, Anne Marie. Hi.
Good afternoon. So I will report to you, obviously, it is still in planning review, but they're coming in pretty fast and furious, and you can anticipate 2, if not 3, if this legislation gets adopted. It wouldn't comply with our present zoning, but if this legislation gets adopted, you can anticipate that 2 or 3, right from the start, would, quote, meet the zoning requirements of the new code.
Yeah, Mike, so we're responding to those letters, you know, via the planning department that are received through the town clerk's office, but those applications are currently being denied because we're under the current law as we sit here today, right now. So when the public hearing takes place and then it goes before a vote before the town board, looking at those same applications, if they were resubmitted after the new legislation, you know, potentially is passed, then there may be viable options for those applications, but we only respond to the application based on the current law right now.
So, not to disagree with the councilman, but just to clarify, because we have 30 days to respond to a notice of location, we're reviewing them, holding them, and under the law, we could request an additional 30 days. So we're not approving those applications because we can't.
Yeah.
We're reviewing against the existing code and the pending code. So they're in the hopper rather than summarily dismissing them at this point.
Yes.
So if Resolution 147 passes, then the applications that are presently not according to code will then fall into code and they can be approved without resubmission of paperwork?
That's correct, as long as we can do it within the legal time parameters of either the initial 30, or if the state were able to request an additional 30, which we fully.
Well, that's good news for the applicants. Could I just ask one other question? Are any of these locations on Route 58 on any of these big box stores?
Mike, to be honest, I don't know if it's a box store location, but I believe one
Okay.
is
On
in
Route
58.
There's been applications for Route 58, but I think some of them are single property, not
Great.
not like a Home
Yeah.
Depot
Great.
shopping center at that point.
Well, listen, let's get this passed. Let's get this going. Hopefully by springtime, when I get back in May, I can go local and buy local. I like that. Finally, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to talk about Resolution 162.
Just before you go forward,
which
Mike, I
is
thank
on
you for your help on
page-
the other one as well. I thank you for your participation
welcome.
and help on the committee.
Thanks, Ken. I'd like to finish with the Resolution 162, which is found on page 228 of the agenda packet, ratifies appointment of special counsel in legal action against the town of Riverhead entitled Calvin and Avian Technology against the town of Riverhead, CDA, and IDA. This obviously very quickly garnered near unanimous support of the community to defend against these guys that, in my opinion, perpetrated a fraud on this town. And the chronology of how the Gramesians got involved is almost ironic. Here we have a guy, the deceased Daniel Preston, who conned Sean Walters into thinking that this was the Howard Hughes of aviation, and that he was going to turn aviation into the Silicon Valley of the East Coast. I was at a couple of those meetings. I went to Preston's presentation. I got one of his T-shirts and hats, as a matter of fact. So I go back a long way at this. And of course, when he fell down on it and was looking for deep pockets, the Gramesians and him hooked up. You know, what a partnership that turned out to be. So, you know, it is clearly not just litigation against the town, it's litigation against the residents and taxpayers of the town of Riverhead. So I'm sure that there's a few negatrons out there that are doing an, why is this happening to us? But you know something? I'm not sad, I'm angry. I want to be aggressive on this. And I want the town to have the financial resources to do that. So speaking of this resolution, looking down at the end of it, which was, I think, page 230, it talks about the financial impact of this. And I'm toggling down to it right now. and I'm almost there, and I'm there. So on page 230, section G, the proposed source of funding. And of course, that all stems from section E, but let's go right to section G, which discusses the sources of funding for this. The appropriation account to be charged can be from a grant or another revenue source. Now, I don't know if there's any grants available for this. It'd be wonderful to have money to be able to spend to defend this frivolous lawsuit and hopefully get a counter judgment that can not only reimburse the town or whoever's funding this 100% for defending this frivolous suit, but who knows, maybe get damages from them for the years of delay and not gathering tax revenue because of one fraudulent submission after another. They didn't want Cargo Airport. What was all the artwork there a year ago that we could throw to court? So just wrapping up, we need you to have adequate funds. We need you to know that this is something that the town supports almost 100%. And I, for one, believe that we need to tell the Gomesians, you're not going to outspend this year. If you want to get us into court, okay, we're going to go in there, we're going to defend this, and we're going to sue you for doing what you've done here. And maybe they will run away like they did in Brookhaven when they were challenged. I know Brookhaven's application was a lot shorter and a lot less involved than ours is. But the fact of the matter is they were never qualified here, ever qualified here. They have been proven that way, and now they just want to hold us up hoping that we don't have the money to defend so they can come back and purchase this property. Everybody in this room knows that's not going to happen. Let's make sure that this gets funded. And if the taxpayers are told, we need $2 million to defend this, let's let them know so that they understand if the taxes are raised that it was to defend this suit. And I believe you're going to have overwhelming support on whatever amount of money that you need to require to beat these guys back. Thank you.
Mike, one thing regarding the cannabis, I just want to back up for a second on. One of the reasons I voted for the town to have dispensaries in our township was because of the availability of tax money that might come our way. I have seen some early numbers from some of the towns. The numbers are astounding. I realize because it's new and there's limited dispensaries, those numbers are going to be inflated. But even if you deflate those numbers, they're still pretty good numbers, and it's certainly something that the town can always use. So I just wanted to bring that up because we
Tim, you
had
might
spoken about it.
recall that I spoke on this before the vote, and my guesstimate was that the town was going to get it at a 3% piece that's supposed to come from the state to us, about $1.5 million. And people thought that was high. Well, clearly to me now, after looking at the numbers and also understanding, Tim,
Right.
if there's only 5 dispensaries in Long Island and then there are 50, there's going to be some diminishment in margin, but not a lot because the people will come.
Right.
But I think the $1.5 million might be closer to $4.5 million. And, that in and of itself could take care of an awful lot of musical instruments from our school, football uniforms for our people, surveillance cameras for our downtown, and paying to fight the litigation against these bums. But in the meantime, because we're in court now and the first weed store hasn't come up, we want you to be comfortable funding this. And I want to hear anybody that says we should not be funding this as a town. We have to support it. We have to be ready to pay for it. And we have to hope. And I've seen the council that Riverhead Local just announced through you guys. They're certainly competent counsel, and I think they actually have a success against the guy that the Gomesians dug up to fight this frivolous lawsuit. So go get them. You've got the town support, and we just want to make sure that you know that. And I'm anxious to hear anybody that opposes it. Thank you, Tim.
Mike, I gave you so many minutes today, you can't go back till May, but that's okay. No problem. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Okay, we have one more online. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one at the podium.
You do the online first. They were there first.
Okay, online first.
Hi, good afternoon. Kathy McGraw from Northville. Just a quick question on Resolution 133, the licensing agreement for Cousins Paintball. I'm curious to know, it looks like they don't have utilities there, and I'm wondering what the provision's going to be for restrooms for that place. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Kathy, they're gonna use porta potties.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of what's been used up there has been porta potties in the past. We know we have to get permanent restroom facilities up there. We're working on that along with the hockey rink and other locations up there. There's probably about 5, 6, or 7 different locations in the master plan map of the park up there that eventually will have permanent structured restrooms. But for temporary use, yes, we have permission from the Department of Health to do that.
And just keep in mind,
Okay, thank you
Kathy,
very much. I appreciate it.
yeah, the baseball fields have been using porta potties for 10 years.
I just thought it was a little different since it was a licensee that's using this property and not the town. But if you're satisfied with it, that's fine. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Sir?
Hello, how you doing? Mr. Hubbard, congratulations.
Thank you. State your name, sir, and the town you're from.
Yeah, hello, everyone. My name is Hugo Rivas. I represent the Long Island Cannabis Coalition. I'm here because number one, we appreciate you guys what you're doing. The work that has been done, is amazing. Again, we always feel like there's always some information that's always been missing, and we would like to just kind of like put that out there. The new zoning map, it's kind of doing what the old zoning map is doing in the sense of location-wise. In the sense of retail availability. It looks like there's more parcels available, in which they are, but we took it upon ourselves, and we actually sent Mr. Rothwell the list, and I don't know if a few other people got the list of every single parcel that's available, and there's not many available. And they didn't also consider the fact that we have Columbia Care there. So Columbia Care itself eliminates other possibilities that were considered to be possibilities. So we would just appreciate that all the information that we sent you already, if you just kind of look at that information and kind of consider what's going on there, that by changing lot line to lot line situation where we could do door to door, how it's in the MRTA, it will just kind of open up a little bit more parcels and allow how it's supposed to, just a little bit more, and then that will literally give more opportunity, and then just for the public to understand, this will not create a clutter or a whole bunch of dispensaries in your area. It won't. From what's available, number one, there's a very few areas available for it. So, and the restriction that we have with the 2,500 feet that you have right now, which is it was double and a half of what is in the MRTA, is also affecting that. So if that could be also considered, that would be also helpful. Like I said, we gave you guys information, and I'm more glad to help send it again or reprint it and give it to you personally. But that's gonna affect the whole situation. The people that are advantaged here is Columbia Care because they're already operating, and I heard that there's some applications that have been sent in. They've been denied because of the rules, and even the new rules are gonna have those places in denial. So please consider those situations. Like I said, we provided the information. We went door to door on this situation just to make sure that we had the right information for you. And please consider that information because it's very important. And again, we appreciate what Riverhead is doing. You guys are going to be the next ones doing cannabis legally, and you're going to do a lot of good for community, for the cultivators out here, and the people that just need work. So again, we appreciate your work, and thank you very much.
Thank you. We did all receive your information, and it's kind of a constant source of conversation amongst board members because it's still somewhat of a work in progress where we want to get it right. And if we put something out and we find it's not working, we can bring it back to the table again and tweak it a little bit. And I know a lot of work goes in from people in the community on this. So
I appreciate that tweaking. We would definitely love that, and I appreciate just having that frame of door. Like that's very important. So we definitely appreciate that.
Right.
But I think we've proven ourselves in terms of that we admitted the first legislation is not, that's in place right now is not working. It's really down to, I think, really about 4 parcels, and so it doesn't give you viable options. And so realizing that, this legislation goes from 4 parcels to 144 parcels. But we have to take in the long-term planning. So just because a particular parcel may not be available today, if it's in the middle of a 10-year lease or a 20-year lease, when that lease expires and goes, the owner, landlord may choose at that point to say, okay, now I'm going to change it up. I'm going to rent to a cannabis retail store. So we have to take baby steps in this. And, we put this out, and my goal, at least I'll speak for myself, was to put this out there. I think the Cannabis Committee did great work. You've got there are options out there. We watch it, we monitor it, we see, and then, if time goes by and you're back in this room saying it's not working, there's nothing available, then we take a second look at it. But once we open the gates and allow it in certain areas and zoning and parcels, it's very hard to restrict it. You can't take it back. You can't go, wait a minute, now that's too much, because what might not be available today under the current town code without changing any town codes could be available a year from now, 6 months, a year, or 10 years. And that's what we have to take in consideration. It's not our job to go out and specifically find you a location, but to make it overall available. And we can't speak on behalf of the landlords or property owners that may say, I choose not to, rent or lease into this particular type of retail establishment. But we hear you, but we're taking baby steps. You were very active during our forums, and I appreciate your insight. And I think we're going in the absolute right direction, but we've got to take these baby steps, because you can't just open the gate and say, all right, we're going to allow it everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's too many and too much.
Yeah, like I said, it's not opening the gates because it's just tweaking it a little bit to make it a little bit more convenient. And then, like I said, even with the same rules, the rules were designed for it to be spread out, so it's not going to be like that. Taking the baby steps, like you said, the baby steps could literally be, like you said, 5 to 10 years. And right now you have smoke shops that are operating in your same town, and you literally have them from two blocks away or 1 block away, and they're operating, and they're not being restricted, but we are. And we're trying to bring safetiness. So every time, if you go to any other state, cannabis brings safetiness. It doesn't bring harm, because the way it's protected inside, you have to go to security, and then you have to go to a vote in order to get this stuff. And if you go to these smoke shops, you could literally reach over the counter and grab the products and be able to get it. And you see minors going there. So yeah, I like the baby step situation, but I think if we just give that little tweaking possibility, especially with the lot line to lot line, which is not a big deal, it's going to give that situation and give opportunity also for the people that are in the community to open a dispensary, not just the people that have the ROs, like Columbia Care, because they're going to be able to operate right away. But everybody else is being restricted about it, but yet we still have smoke shops operating. So yeah, let's take the baby steps, but let's do that baby step in the beginning. Let's make it right, like Mr. Herbert said. Let's try to do it the right way, so we have more opportunity for the people of our community, not for the people that come from out of state, have big companies, and they're the ones producing. So at the end of the day, let's do it for each other, right? Let's do it for community.
And I understand you want the immediate desire to have something immediately available, but we have to legislate, at least in my opinion, for long term. Over the next year, if this legislation is passed and goes into effect over the next year, 2 years, there might not be any cannabis retail shops in Riverhead because nothing is available. That doesn't mean, without changing it, that a few years from now there could be 6. And that's the way we have to look at it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sir, I just want to make a point too, just to clarify for the public. You said about smoke shops, they are not legally permitted to sell any type of narcotic.
But we have them in our neighborhoods, though.
I'm just letting, I
That's
just
a
want
big
to make
difference,
sure it's
though.
clear
Yeah.
for the public
Yeah.
that that's not legally allowed. And
Understand?
they're
No,
doing that.
understand. But they're in our neighborhoods, and we don't understand that at least us that we're in the world of cannabis, we know what's going on in the situation, and we're trying to address it, but nobody's looking at that picture as well. So, like I said, at the end of the day, bringing legal cannabis dispensaries is going to be the right thing for our neighborhoods and our communities. Taking these little tweaks to help out the people from our communities open up stores, that's what we're talking about. Now, we're not looking to do nothing immediately, but we're trying to at least give ourselves opportunities as well. Not just, like I said, big companies that are already doing it, they're already able to switch over, and we're not getting those same opportunities. I mean, it should be both ways. We feel like we're being neglected, and even though we have opportunity to do the same thing as anybody else, and we want to have the same responsibilities, and we want to do it the right way. So, like I said, we appreciate everything you're doing, but just please, let's look at that You know, the information is there. We went to every single place. So, I mean, we put the work in for you guys. You know, I know that but we put the work in, so please take that into consideration. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
for your participation in the forum as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Can I take the next caller online, please? We kind of postponed him, or her, whoever it is.
It was Kathy, wasn't it?
No. Did we have another one online? Yes.
Oh. Three then.
Ron Mitchell.
You're on. Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, I'm Mitch Hagler, Roanoke Heights, Riverhead. Commenting on, I believe it's Resolution 148, the amendment to the factory outlet overlay. A little bit of background, my family had a 3-generation business on Main Street in Riverhead, which I was involved in for about 25 years. So I'm pretty keenly aware still to this day of, retail comings and goings in Riverhead. And much like the downtown zero tolerance, family friendly zoning that the town board adopted last year, I'm always a little bit perplexed about what the town has decided is allowed and not allowed in certain retail districts. I just want to highlight that in the proposal that you're going to vote on today, that proposal limits or restricts or says no to cannabis, tobacco shops, adult entertainment. But again, much like the downtown family friendly, it seems to overlook firearms businesses. Tanger itself in various places around the nation, including in their flagship headquarters city of Greensboro, North Carolina, a number of their facilities do not allow firearms or firearms businesses. So I would ask that the town board look at adding that as a excluded use in what it's going to be adopting today, or at least voting on today, excuse me. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, sir. State your name and your residence.
How are you? My name is Brian Stark. I'm a first-round card licensee that got a cannabis license back in November of 2022. And I'd just like to make some comments about that cannabis zoning as well. To speak about what Hugo was talking about, Columbia Care would have 1,000-foot door-to-door state-required buffer around it. It wipes out all the available real estate east end of 58. The middle of 58 is out because of lot line restrictions to the school properties. And the western end only has one viable piece of property that will not work for anybody. I know Anne Marie's saying that there's 2 or 3 applications that are in. It's not from anybody that's already licensed. These are people that are looking to get a license and probably won't get a license because they're only giving out 250 of them. And with the restrictions that are in place now, obviously there's nothing available. With the new zoning that's being done, the majority of the properties that are on that 144 parcels are residential, agricultural, horse farms. It eliminates a majority of them. If not, you're going into areas on 58 that big box stores are in that have master leases. You cannot rent there. So to go back to something like what Mike was saying, yeah, we worked with all the realtors out here. We've done the research. You're talking maybe 1, possibly 2 properties that are not going to cooperate with the cannabis licensees. So we're going to be back at the same situation. We would definitely like to address it some more and see how we can open this up where we all have a fair shot. There's not going to be multiple dispensaries in Riverhead. There's setbacks. I know you guys want 2,500 feet. The law states that the state made is 1,000. With that 1,000 and the real estate that's currently available, you maybe get one, possibly two. And that would be if you follow the state requirements. That's all I really got to say, but I think the new map was a step in the right direction, but I think it's going to end up in the same exact situation we're already in, and we're going to be back here 6 months from now. So I just think maybe look into it a little bit further, see where we would be at if we follow the state requirements, which is door-to-door requirements, and see how many parcels are open up there and if there's anything available. That's it. That's all I really
I'm just going to correct you, but the 144 parcels that we listed are eligible parcels. So like we put together all the surrounding restrictions for the schooling, town property, churches, and so forth, and it comes up with 144 parcels. When you're saying that they're not going to be permissible because school, those parcels were already eliminated from the count. We are at 144.
They're zoned residential. They're zoned agricultural. They're zoned for a horse farm. Nobody's going to take that parcel over and try to rezone it into a dispensary in the middle of, for instance, the corridor that's in Jamesport, actually, where the gentleman wrote the letter from, it's 40 parcels that are available there. 30 of them are either residential, agricultural, horse farms, land rights, which I guess that means it can't even be developed because it's being saved for agricultural. That's what's there. You guys put the listings on there. It shows hotel.
I'll let Anne Marie clarify for you, but that's just, I think you're misinterpreting it.
Yeah, I think there's a misinterpretation. The properties that were identified on the maps that was provided to everyone, together with the sheet which identifies section, block, and lot and their current uses, those properties are all within and only within the commercial corridors that permit retail. So the fact that a piece of property on that list is on that list, that means it's within a commercial corridor that permits retail as a use. The fact that in the list it says vacant residential or single-family home doesn't mean or translate into non-permitted. But that said, at any time, if you want to sit down with me for me to further explain and go through it, I absolutely would. But I think there's a disconnect because the only properties that are identified are those in the commercial corridors which permit retail. They might be presently used, like in downtown, we have some single-family homes. You might not see that in the zoning, or it could switch to a retail shop even though it's a house presently.
So they're seeing
It's the
something
same.
as a home, but the reality is you can purchase that house and convert it to a retail center.
Where are you going to put parking? It's never going to work.
Well,
You're not going to take a horse farm and turn a horse farm into a retail shopping with 27, 30 parking spots that have business.
You can if it's permissible. And that's the way we have to look at it, though.
right. But if you want, I'd be happy to go through the list, the commercial districts with you, whatever you need.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name's Michael Rita. Reside in St. James. Card holder. Have been fighting the uphill battle. I'm a member of LICC. So I grew up on the East End. I grew up in East Mauritius my whole life. Since I got licensed, I've been focusing on Riverhead because I know that the growth that Riverhead has had over the last 20 years, you guys all know, 1871, which is Barclays Building. I've been trying to put a deal together on that since April, and unfortunately, the man's just impossible. So, couple of things that I do want to touch base on. So, based off of that list, Columbia Care's current address isn't listed as one of those parcels. So, what exactly is going to happen with that location? Like, are they gonna get a pass because they're already there? Like, how is that gonna work?
I know that we've sought clarification. I don't know if, Anne Marie, if you've received any clarification about Columbia Care, but it's, I'll let Dawn's gonna come up and try to explain, because it's an ongoing thing. We have been looking into it because our zoning doesn't allow it there, but because they're pre-existing, but they were under a different, type of licensing agreement where they would do medical marijuana. It doesn't mean that it should be consensually go right into retail, but let Dawn explain.
So they did, Columbia Care did submit an application to do retail at the location where they are currently at. That came with a memo from their council indicating that because they are doing medical there, that they are entitled to do retail there. We, typically that location, or currently that location doesn't comply with our code, but because of its current existing location, we submitted our parameters together with the legal memo that was submitted by council to Columbia Care to the state. And I'm not sure what the state will do, but they may be exempt from our local zoning because of that existing medical dispensary.
So, real quick, just to touch base, Dawn, right?
Yes.
On what she said, how, like, logistically, to me, that doesn't make sense how they could be exempt because it meets the state's laws, but all the general state laws on cannabis, and listen, I understand it's new, but every township and municipality on Long Island is adopting their own. So how does that makes no sense to me, how you can allow, I know they're existing, right? But how you can allow them to operate under the state's guidelines, but we have to operate under the town's guidelines, right?
Well, they're two different things. You're not comparing apples to apples.
We are, because they are turning to adult use.
But they're
So
also
it's not
doing,
just
still
medical.
doing the medical, which got them in the door first.
That's completely
basically
understandable.
How it happened. So
The state regulates them a little bit differently, so, that's our problem. It's not what we want, it doesn't fit our zoning, but I can't tell you that we're gonna be able to, like, when I say, not we open this board, but myself, like, I don't know that we can legally stop or prevent it if the state of New York is in fact granting them a license to do it. But the state of New York is consulting with us on every other application that comes before the town, asking, does it meet your current zoning? So we say yes or no. So with Columbia Care, the answer is no, it does not meet our current zoning, but that doesn't mean that the state is going to try to supersede us.
I understand, I just want a little more clarification on that.
Is that
And
clear,
ag-
Dawn, right? I mean, okay.
And again, just to reiterate, we all do appreciate the town of Riverhead trying to work with us and trying to come up with something that makes sense. At the end of the day, it might not be exactly what we all want right now, but like you said, Mr. Rothwell, hopefully, as time goes on, if we see that nobody's able to actually get open and operational, we can make some tweaks and make some adjustments. I mean, ideally, what we'd all like to see is everyone fall into suit and follow the state's guidelines.
I've said since the very beginning that we will continue to revisit it, monitor it, revisit it, and if time goes by and there's no applications, or there's only one available lot, and we think we need to readdress it, I'm sure we can certainly reopen the cannabis forum, come back to the table and try again.
So what I do ask, because I am working on a location that is within one of the corridors, is that on the 21st, that the resolution in favor to the zoning change be made during the hearing. Doesn't have to be benched, and let's have a vote during the hearing and get this done.
You want to end the open comment period, is what you're saying?
Yes, you guys vote and pass it. It's just a long process that's just gonna continue, This deal that I'm working on, everyone that's in the space has been spending countless amount, I'm working on another location in the town of Brookhaven. The attorney's fees to do a ZBA and a special use permit, and because unfortunately, they're not playing ball like you guys are. So again, thank you very much for trying to help us out and try and get something opened up here so you can see how it works and what it does for the community, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. It's about the benefits to the community and to the citizens of the community. But that's what I would ask, is on the 21st, have open public comment, and let's get this done.
My only response to that would be that, you know, you have to take into effect everyone that comes here with the open comments, and sometimes people raise valid points, and sometimes we need to go back, we need to look, you know, before we vote on something. So my personal decision on whether or not I would consider to vote to waive a 10-day, you know, the 10-day comment period would be, it would certainly need, I couldn't make that decision prior to a public hearing, because we need to see how the public
Yeah,
hearing leads us that evening, you know?
Absolutely.
Whether or not we feel there's more work to be done.
Anybody have anything for me, or you guys?
Yeah, Mike, I'm just gonna, I want to just speak to you, Brian, and Hugo. I agree with you. I think the time has been incredibly lengthy. I do appreciate, I've sat in on all the cannabis committee meetings, and I appreciate all the work that's being done. I think you're absolutely right about the 2,500-foot distance. I know I've spoken to you guys over, I don't know, last month, and I can completely see what's going on, and I agree with the supervisor that the tax, and I'm familiar with the operation I think you're familiar with, where they're doing in excess of $1 million a week, which equates to about $39,000 a week to Riverhead to utilize that tax. In addition, there's another 4% that goes to the state, which allows any town that's participating in cannabis to then file for grants from that pot.
40%.
It's four, I'm sorry, I said 4, it's 40%. So, you know, I can appreciate, and my concern is that this doesn't land where, okay, there's 1 or 2. I also don't have the same view that if this opened up, there's going to be 100 dispensaries.
Not a
It's
shot.
never going to work. They'll cannibalize each other, for sure. So I'm not, you know, that's like having, 30 pizza places on 58. They'll cannibalize each other.
They'll smoke each other out.
Oh, yeah, I stand corrected. They'll smoke each other out. So, you know, I would like to see the distances change, because I know if you put one in, now you're 2,500 feet on both sides. That's tremendous amount of distance.
Listen, the fact of the matter is, if you guys adopted the state's regs, I guarantee it would be what you guys are predicting. 6 to 8 max, but realistically, 2 to 3 dispensaries would open, and that's it.
I agree with you
I
100%.
think we all feel pretty much that same way.
I agree
So
with
let's
you
adopt the
100%.
state's regs. Very simple. Get it done. All right, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Do we have anybody else who would like to comment on any resolution? Justin, anybody online? No? Okay. Let's move on to the reading of the resolutions. Start out with resolution number 1.
Resolution 113.
Appoints a water treatment plant operator trainee, so moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 114.
Appoints a public safety dispatcher to the police department, chief. Yes, so moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 115.
Ratifies the appointment of an account clerk. Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 116.
Ratifies the appointment of a technical support aide. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Motion adopted. Resolution 117.
Reappoints a zoning officer, non-pro-tunc, so moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 118.
Ratifies the reclassification of a maintenance mechanic 3, so moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 119.
Ratifies the reclassification of an automotive mechanic 2. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 120.
Appoints financial advisor. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 121.
Accepts the retirement of a custodial worker 1. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yeah, I want to thank George Modern for his years of service to the town. He's been instrumental in keeping the building clean down at the senior center for years, and I just wish him nothing but the best in his retirement. I vote yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 122.
Ratifies the acceptance of a resignation from a public safety dispatcher. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 123.
Ratifies the termination of an AEO. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 124.
Authorizes the attendance at the 2024 annual meeting and training school held by the Association of Towns, February 18th through the 21st of 2024. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 125.
Authorize attendance at judicial continuing education program. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 126.
Appoints official print newspaper for the town of Riverhead 2024. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 127.
Appoints bond counsel. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 128.
Appointment and approval of the fee schedule for the Rayner Group PE and LS PLLC as consulting engineers and land surveyors. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 129.
Appoints official online publication. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 130.
Authorizes the supervisor to enter into an agreement with specified employees. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 131.
I don't have it. Oh, I'm sorry. We're stuck. I have it. Thanks. Authorizes supervisor to execute an agreement for court reporter services. Colleen Track. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 132.
Authorizes supervisor to execute an agreement for court reporter services. Donna Spratt. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 133.
Authorizes supervisor to execute agreement with the Adventure Group LLC doing business as Cousins Paintball Incorporated. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Just another amenity for the town of Riverhead? Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
Just remember to duck, Bob Kern. I'm coming to get you.
He said he's going to use me as a shield. I don't know what he meant by that, but
Resolution number 134.
Authorizes renewal of a musical works license agreement with the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, ASCAP. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 135.
Awards bid, installation of water mains and appurtenances?
Appurtenances.
Appurtenances, I apologize. Seacrest Estates subdivision, AKA the Villas at Roanoke, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, and I think every board member has messed that word up every time they first read it.
Yes. from
I'd
20
never
years-
heard of it prior to coming to town board.
Thank
so.
you.
I think it's made up. Resolution 136.
Awards bid, distribution system maintenance and emergency services contract, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
and Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 137.
Awards bid electrical system maintenance and emergency service contract, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 138.
Awards bid hydraulic control valve maintenance services contract, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 139.
Awards bid mechanical maintenance and emergency services contract, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Mancini's going for a clean sweep. Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 140.
Awards bid, process control system maintenance and emergency services contract, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
You have enough employees? Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 141.
Here comes more water. Authorizes town clerk to publish and post bid for water service materials. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution-
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post bid for charter buses. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 143.
Authorizes notice to bidders, construction of pre-stressed ground storage tank at East Wind Drive, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 144.
Approved special event Chapter 255 application for Race Awesome, Jamesport Triathlon. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 145.
Authorizes special event Chapter 255 application for the American Cancer Society, Making Strides Against Cancer of Eastern Long Island. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 146.
Approved special event Chapter 255 application for Polish Town Civic Association, Polish Town Street Fair. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 147.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 301 Zoning and Land Development, Part 3, Supplementary Regulations, Article, ooh, what is this number?
Oh. Where are you?
50, okay. L11C.
Thank you.
Cannabis.
Is there a
I'm messing up left and right today. Cannabis of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 148.
Adopts a local law amending Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 17. I'm a Catholic schoolgirl. We did our Roman numerals. Business F, Bus F, Zoning Use District, Manufacturers Outlet Center Overlay Zone. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. The resolution number 149.
Adopts a local law amending Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 53, Condominiums Map. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
58.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
I'm going to require that everybody watch the Super Bowl this weekend and study your Roman numeral numbers. So moved. Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
So moved. Yes, it's so approved. Resolution 150.
Adopts a local law amending Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Part 4, Subdivision and Land Development, Article 51, Site Plan Review. So moved.
56.
56. No Super Bowl for me.
Seconded.
Remember when it was Super Bowl 10? How good it was.
Super Bowl I. Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 151.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 273 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Solid Waste. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 152.
Oh, that's me. Adopts a local law amending Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Part 4, Subdivision and Land Development, Article 53, Subdivision Regulations. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 153.
Water District Budget Transfer for Vehicles and Equipment. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes. Much needed.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 154.
Budget transfer emergency repairs at Reeves Beach. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, I just want to add, in the repairs done to Reeves Beach, the ramp should be done by Super Bowl weekend, as long as Mother Nature cooperates between now and then. They should be able to get enough work done on it to open the ramp back up. The gazebo, definitely not, but the ramp will be available. I've gotten a couple calls from residents wanting to know, they're getting winteritis and want to get outside and get down on the beach, and they go down and they pick up litter and everything else. So the good news is, hopefully by the end of this weekend, the ramp will be open and available.
Great. Resolution number 155.
Budget transfer for 2023 legal fees. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 156.
203-213 East Main Street, Riverhead Sewer District Capital Project. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 157.
Authorization to accept grant funds and enter into a contract with New York State Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for construction of the proposed town square and adaptive playground. Hooray. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Great work, CDA, yes.
Excellent. Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 158.
Authorizes the filing of an application for New York State assistance from the Household Hazardous Waste State Assistance Program and signing of the associated state contract under the appropriate laws of New York State. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 159.
Authorizes application for funding through the U.S. Department of Transportation RAISE 2024 grant funding. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 160.
Resolution calling public hearing regarding a capital improvement for the proposed extension number 99 of the Riverhead Water District for the Maris Farm subdivision and other properties collectively known as Suffolk County Tax Map Number District 0600, Section 117, Block 01, Lot 6.1, 6.2, 7.2, 7.3, and 7.4 in Riverhead, New York. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 161.
Resolution calling for a public hearing regarding a capital improvement for the proposed lateral water main extension at 203 to 213 East Main Street, Suffolk County Tax Map District Number 0600, Section 129, Block 1, Lots 17 through 20, Riverhead, New York. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
And Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 162.
Ratifies appointment of special counsel in legal action against the town of Riverhead entitled Calverton Aviation and Technology LLC. B, the town of Riverhead Community Development Agency, and the town of Riverhead Industrial Development Agency. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
I just want to take a moment to thank our town attorney, Eric Howard, and the entire town attorney staff. They put together an incredible group of individuals from different law firms that came here and did a nice presentation to us. It was immense work. I firmly believe in this particular law firm, and I think that, although there was many great options in front of us, so I think we are in good hands. I vote yes. Thank you for your guys' work.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution number 163.
Pay bills. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Woski,
Yes.
Merrifield.
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Rothwell.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
This completes our resolutions. We're now going to open the floor for open comments from the public on any matter at all. Any matter at all? And we have 3 online. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Pilar Moya Mancera, the Executive Director of Housing Help, Inc., a tiny but mighty housing and financial counseling agency that has been serving Long Island for over 50 years. I am here to express our sincere gratitude for the invaluable support from the Riverhead Police Department during our Three Kings Day event on a cold and snowy January 7 at Centro Franciscano, the Episcopalian church located on Roanoke Avenue. The collaboration with the Riverhead Town Police Department was instrumental in the success of our initiative, where we had the privilege of providing assistance to 521 adults and 507 children, totaling 1,028 individuals. This was a drive-through event, so their traffic coordination was crucial for the event's safety and success and play a crucial role in creating a positive impact on the lives of those we serve. During the event, Housing Help was able to offer a range of essential resources, including food, toys for the children, and food gift cards. This support will not have been possible without our local and regional community partners and local leaders. A special thanks to council members Joanne Waski, and Denise Merrifield, who joined in the snow and cold to help us give out food to our event participants. As we reflect on the success of this event, I am excited to share that Housing Help will continue its mission in Riverhead by launching a housing counseling on wheels initiative. This innovative approach will enable us to extend our reach and provide support directly to the community. The collaboration and support we have received, especially from the Riverhead Police Department, have been instrumental in our efforts. We are optimistic about the positive change we can collectively bring to Riverhead, and Housing Help is committed to fostering a better, more inclusive community. We look forward to the ongoing partnership with the Riverhead Town Police, the Town Council, and the entire community. Thank you for your time and the continued support of our mission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful event that day, and I look forward to the next one. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of Councilwoman Merrifield as well. We really enjoyed meeting everybody, and you did a very successful event, so thank you.
No, thank you for participating. And you know what? We make hundreds of children so happy with those toys, right? So
It made us happy.
Yes.
It was a really nice event.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwomen, and thank you, Chief, for the police services provided. We are very proud of our police department.
Hi, Claudia Bianco, Baiting Hollow. I just want to say thank you to Tim and the council, I'm sure had an input in this, in changing or correcting the terrible wrong that was done, however it was done, and by whomever it was done, to correct the pre-submission conference. The town residents need to know what is being presented, what ideas developers have before they get acted upon. And I'm still disappointed that you changed that agritourism code without letting the comp plan deal with it. I know the whole hoopla about the circumstances, but it really should have been done in a different way. But I'm glad you corrected that. I hope if there's anything else that has been going on that we are unaware of, it gets corrected as well.
Claudette, the comp plan actually did assist us with the agritourism.
Okay, that's good. I have a question totally unrelated to anything that was discussed today. Last year, sometime the Recreation Department requested money or was looking into buying a computer program to allow for digital electronic access, beach passes and such, so that you don't have to have an actual sticker on your car. And I just got a sticker last week. So I guess they didn't get the program, or they're not getting the program?
That particular program, they did not get. The money that they had went more into putting their applications and things online, so you can do them online.
I did
as
that.
opposed to
I
going
did it
down there and
online,
doing
but
it
we're not going to have that
I don't
digital
think it's going to be ready for this year.
Okay,
I don't
because
think
I
it'll
know they
roll out
have it,
this year.
I think in Brookhaven, they're using it this year
Yes.
and stuff, so
Yep.
that would be saving.
These were parts of budget things that had to be
Yeah,
weighed in.
you weigh what
But
you-
it will come up again in this year's budget, so maybe
Okay.
this year there's room for that.
Okay, always looking forward to progress. Thank
Understood.
you.
Thank you. We'll take somebody from online.
I know this says Tom Hughes, but he will come on after me. We had great confusion. We were trying to use two computers. This is Kathy McGraw from Northville again. And Mr. Hubbard, you pledged more open government and you've made some really excellent changes. I was delighted to hear the change you announced today on the pre-submission meetings, and I thank you very much. But there remains for me the question of what to do about the many such meetings that have violated that town code. And in particular, we have learned that since 2022, you and Mr. Rothwell, Dawn Thomas, many staff from the planning department and the town attorney's office have been meeting in person and by Zoom and through emails with Wiseman Realty, as well as consultants paid for by Wiseman Realty. And specifically, the subject of all of that has been a luxury resort to be built by Wiseman at 3394 Sound Avenue on the bluffs of the Long Island Sound. And if this is an aside, if the people of Riverhead are interested, you can read the countless, what I consider to be eye-opening emails that have been obtained by the Riverhead Local and were published today, emails between town staff and representatives of Wiseman. Town staff with Wiseman reps has not only been reviewing site plans, but also considering changes to the TDR program and drafting a new zoning code, which we've heard about today, agritourism, that allows the Wiseman Resort, which otherwise could not be built. This was all done behind closed doors until last July, when Riverhead Local, checking on campaign contributions, came across one to Mr. Hubbard from Wiseman Real Estate. The reporter then checked the Wiseman website and found on that site notice of a luxury resort near Briarmere on Sound Avenue. And at that point, the cat was out of the bag. That was July of this past year. And when asked about this, no one from town government was really very forthcoming at first. And you, Mr. Hubbard, when asked specifically, said you would not support a zoning change to allow hotels and spas.
Correct.
But correct me if I'm wrong, at the next town board meeting, you are holding a public hearing on this zoning code change that will allow those very things.
Correct.
Mr. Hubbard, I have always, as a lifelong resident of Riverhead, that you have the best interests of Riverhead at heart. This episode has got me wondering a little bit if that's true. The agritourism code allowing this resort and also identifying parcels where 7 or 8 more of these resorts could be located was done without the people of this town knowing anything about it. This is particularly egregious since all of this was going on at the same time. This town is paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a comp plan update. I know you just said, Mr. Hubbard, that the comp plan was involved, but I never saw anything publicly. I don't know if the representatives to the comp plan meetings know anything about it. I just think such a dramatic zoning change would be of real interest and very important to the people who live in Riverhead. And I think by not having it be front and center studied in the comp plan, it looks like this comp plan is a very expensive, empty exercise. Inasmuch as the agritourism code all began with meetings that violated Town Code 301-305, I would ask that you withdraw this proposal, this proposed zoning change, cancel the hearing for the next town board meeting, and roll this significant zoning change. It is truly significant to put luxury resorts along the historic Sound Avenue corridor and make this a part of the comp plan. It might cost some more money, but it will restore confidence in this town's government. And I hope that all of you on the town board will choose to do so. I very much appreciate your time. Thank you. And if you'd like, Tom Hughes would now speak up. Go ahead, Jeff.
Good afternoon. I apologize for the confusion with two people sharing one computer. And I also had to make some changes in my script because of Mr. Hubbard's welcome, but tardy acknowledgement that what has been happening with the developers of this proposed hotel, if not dead wrong, at least looks wrong. This can't be how Riverhead Town wants to be seen to do their business in this new age of open government, which we all welcome. It is legitimate for people to ask, why is Mr. Wiseman, a respected Westchester developer, why is he getting such concierge care from the town of Riverhead? Of course, as previously mentioned, we have since learned public records that Mr. Wiseman was a lavish benefactor during the recent town elections. There's nothing wrong with that. Perfectly legitimate. He gave a little more money than he should, but I understand that that's
Why we're talking about
addressed.
it, then, if it doesn't matter.
I think it's a germane point, and why I believe it is reasonable to comment on how this matter is being handled. Certainly, Mr. Wiseman is not getting all this attention from the town of Riverhead because he built a nice new Hampton Inn in Yonkers. There is reason why the doors are open. If I go into town hall and say I want to, put a room over the garage, or if I'm a businessman and I want to put up a larger sign, or I want to open a new restaurant on a busy corner, the results will vary. I don't have that entree that Mr. Wiseman and his law firm apparently do. And I'm just saying it is legitimate for
That's simply not true. The planning board is
in-
open to the public, and any resident, any developer, contractor, attorney, any investor can come forth. We run a town hall of open doors, and it's not exactly investigative reporting. You can come to the town hall, come into the planning department, discuss your ideas, and we'll make comments on them. And good ideas are brought to the table, poor ideas are brought to the table. I don't really see what this is all about.
Well,
It's an open door
okay,
policy, and we're proud of that.
I will concede that this debate is a mere kerfuffle. This is just a concern that many people have about the operations of this board, which is only obviously weeks old, and its predecessors and beyond. And there are enough people in town, obviously not enough, but there are enough people who share that opinion. But what I think the bigger issue is the unsuitability of the proposed enterprise for that particular piece of land. So we're being misled by the whole agritourism buzzword. There's been agritourism in Riverhead for the 50 years I've been there. Briarmere, the peach farms, Swedes, buffaloes roaming the range, wineries, breweries. Agritourism is here. It's nothing new. And this idea that there are going to be fields of endive and sorrel and guests at the hotel are going to be out picking their own supper is just nonsense. They're using the word, this is public comment, and I'm a member of the public, I'm making my comments. They're using their code word to obscure what their real plan is, which is another hotel and wedding venue with a few fields of corn for hay rides in the fall. Otherwise, there's also ample room for tents and bands and playing fields. I've heard talk of sports complexes. The idea of playing fields for travel teams, and mom and dad roll in the minivan and stay at the hotel, and they're there for a couple of days and play lacrosse or field hockey or
Mr. Hughes,
whatever.
excuse me. Are you in favor of major subdivisions along Sound Avenue?
I understand the pressure on the agricultural land, and I think when they come up before the town, those questions can be addressed.
So
I'm
a
not
project
in
that would
favor
save
of-
land is not something you would support. A project that would preserve 70% of that land. When I first heard of this proposal, I was against a zone change, and I publicly stated that. When the proposal was presented to me with the TDR program and the possibility to save and preserve 70% of 100 acres, that changed my mind instantly. And by the way, I do have the right to change my mind. If the project is bad, I don't support it. If it becomes good, I will support it. If it doesn't, I won't. And
But
that's how things work.
how
So
do
to
we-
insinuate
how
that
do
because
we
somebody who, if that person walked in this room right now, I would not know what that person looks like, but they donated to my campaign, Mr. Hughes, you don't know me. You don't know my credibility. You don't know anything about me. Nobody can buy me. Nobody has ever bought me, and nobody ever will. So for you to get on live TV and insinuate that people on this board are doing things because they received money, you're entirely in the wrong. I can't state that any other way. You are completely wrong. And I urge you to get on with your point quickly because we are going past our time period here.
Okay, well, I do respect your, and I don't, I said that there's politics in America today. That's just it. There's no other reason. You had campaign contributions. Your opponents had campaign contributions. But it is part of the reason people will, talk. We'll just. But what I want to get back to again is the future of this project, and if the town is relying on the developers and their attorneys and consultants to write their own code, which is the suspicion abroad in the land, you won't be able to stop what they eventually want to do there because they will have contrived a code that allows them to do what they will.
Tom,
And so-
I have to interrupt you. They
I'm-
did
I'm
not. They did not write their own code. Number one. Number two, Joanne asked you a question about subdivisions. So and you didn't answer that. Would you rather see subdivisions on the north side of Sound Avenue or not? This also, and I've spent 2 years on the comp plan, this plays a significant role in the TDR program in order to preserve land. And this is something that was brought to my attention, absolutely worth looking into. And how do we use the TDR program, and how do we stop subdivisions, period? So if you
But
want
if
to
you're-
weigh in on that part of the solution, I'd be happy to hear your thoughts.
As someone who has worked on the comp plan, why are we putting this before the horse? Why are we doing this before the comp plan that the town has?
Because you're not
has spent
listening.
good
This
money on?
was vetted through the comp plan. This was vetted through the comp plan. It was done through the steering committee. You just refuse to acknowledge that, and I can't help you with that.
And Tom, you should know if you've worked on a comp plan, you should also note that during the process of the comp plan, it does not stop the town board to have the ability to do zoning.
There's 7,000
Well-
acres left. We're doing everything we can to preserve. So projects that may fall within the zoning category, if it's passed, have the opportunity to preserve that acreage and to purchase other parcels through transfer of development rights to increase their maximum density. So even a 100-acre site can preserve 70 acres, and then they can go out and potentially buy 20, 30 acres someplace else. The goal is to preserve as much as the 7,000 acres that does. If you're against this project, then what you must be for is that you would prefer to see 350 houses built along Sound Avenue with an average 3 cars per house to go in and out of there 3 times a day, and then to put all those 600, 700 kids in our school district, and I don't support that endeavor, so I disagree with you.
Well, those are valid points, and they are being addressed and will be addressed when the comp plan to the people of Riverhead at some point.
Again, Tom, we don't
very
have
soon.
to
Look,
wait for the comp plan to address this. We're addressing it as the need comes up, which is responsible.
But without public input, no.
We haven't had the public
Had no
hearing yet.
Public hearing yet, Tom. So you're painting
Yes, I
a
know,
picture
but
that's incorrect,
you're-
and
you're
that
meeting-
irritates
you're meeting
me.
with
Be truthful
you're
in what
meeting
you're
with
going
the
to say when you come on
proponents.
camera. That would be what I say to you. Don't portray something, use facts and tell the truth. That's what we prefer to hear up here. That's what we talk
Okay,
about.
So,
And
I
just
put
to
my
add
hope in
also,
the,
that this is part of the recommendations of the 2003 comp plan. An exact discussion in, I believe it's 7.7C, but don't hold me to that. But check the 2003 comp plan,
know.
and it talks of just doing projects just like this along the scenic and historic corridor, and that the people wanted that. So
Okay,
we've
well,
vetted it
I
through the
just-
new
I-
comp plan. We're going off the old comp plan. I don't know what more we can do to you, Tom, to make you, feel differently
Well,
about this. You're entitled to your opinion, obviously.
I feel strongly on
But
the-
I'm going to
I
agree
feel
to
strongly
disagree
on
with
the-
you on many things that you said.
Okay, I understand, and I respect that. But I do want to be on record as against this proposed hotel. I do understand that the pressure on agricultural land is intense, not just in Riverhead, but on the entire East End. And there are different ways to address the issue. This one is not one I support. I hope the DEC will put a stop to it.
And
That's all I
I
have to say.
respect
I
your
thank you for the
opinion,
time.
Tom. Thank you very much.
Town Board, I was just going to state, there is no site plan. I conferred with Matt. He's never seen a site plan. I've never seen a site plan. So when Kathy McGraw avers to a violation of the code pre-submission, there is no site plan. The appropriate time.
It's mentioned in
No,
the
no,
emails, Mr.
Kathy,
Jen.
no, we're not having this.
There is
Thank
no
you.
site plan. The
It's
time
mentioned
to
in
hear
the
a proposed
emails.
code amendment is the purpose of the public hearing. Next, just for the record, and I've cited this before, under the present comp plan, section 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.6C, 3.6G, 3.7C, 5.2, 5, I think it's 5.5B, goal 7.3, 7.7, 7.7C, and I just want to read one section in particular, if you don't mind. Sorry, I have a lot of areas flagged in the comp plan because this is what we review when we review legislation. On page 7.4, I'm going to read just the last sentence of the paragraph. Tours are offered and farm products are sold. In the future, there may be potential for farm experience vacations or farm-based bed and breakfast, two vacation concepts that are growing in popularity nationally and internationally. This is from 2003. All of my comments, all of the above, I should note for the record, after the first Riverhead Local article came out, Dawn Thomas spent a half hour with Alec Lewis, and I spent 45 minutes. The most recent opinion piece that avers to statements I made regarding environmental review, those I did not make. What I did state was that the present zoning that is in our proposed draft is already a receiving area. So when I was asked the question by Alec Lewis, well, don't you have to do a generic environmental impact statement because of the sending and receiving areas? My response was, no, you do not. It's already a receiving area in the code. Next, when he asked me about the developer submitting secret documents, I said, yeah, they may have, but I didn't review them. And I can tell you, town staff did not rely on them. And if you have any other questions regarding the secret review for this proposed legislation, please go to the planners. That's their ballywick, not mine. So the most recent comments you saw recited kind of were worded and made averments that I made different comments than what I actually did. That's
Emery, I stand by your work. Dawn Thomas's work, the entire planning department. You guys have been doing an amazing job, and the goal in the long term is to preserve farmland, and that's what we're doing.
Absolutely correct. Okay, we have two people on. I have one more to come up to the microphone right now first.
Hi there, has nothing to do with what you guys are talking about.
That's refreshing.
I just wanted to remind everybody in the town of Riverhead that this Monday is Brian Simonson's 5th year anniversary since his end of watch. We will be going to Queens for a memorial mass at 11 a.m. at the Holy Child Jesus Church in Richmond Hill. And the NYPD will also be airing it live stream. So I would invite you all to watch the mass. I don't know if we'll be doing any more masses in Queens after this, maybe the 10 year, but it is a lot on Leanne and Linda and the whole family, so I invite you all to participate, watch, think about him.
Melissa, for those who don't know, Detective Simonson was a detective with the New York City Police Department.
He was a
and a
detective in the
resident of the
102,
town of
a
Riverhead.
resident, grew up in Jamesport. Actually, Tim and Jim were on the board when we renamed South Jamesport Avenue Brian Simonson Way. He was a detective. He was promoted after his death to detective grade 1, but he was a detective in the 102 squad, spent his whole career in the 102 squad, and was unfortunately killed in the line of duty February 12th, 2019. It ended up being friendly fire. We just convicted both perpetrators that were responsible for his death last year, which was a huge feat for the family. And this is just, it's a lot for the family. Brian was a huge Riverhead guy. Smiles was his nickname, so if you knew him, you loved him. He was everybody's best friend. But at the end of the day, all this stuff going on is just smoke and mirrors, so I just think it's more important to kind of bring it down to what is all about our town, and he was all about our town, so if we could just remember him.
Absolutely. Thank you for the update.
Thank you, Melissa.
I actually will be in attendance at the service on Monday.
Very good, very good. Great family.
Yes.
And the work that's been done in his memory with money that's been raised for foundations and different things is incredible.
Yes.
So it speaks
Yeah.
volumes of what a person,
Aren't they going to be the
Detective
grand
Simonson
marshals for
was.
the parade this year as well?
Yes. Leanne Simonson, his widow, Brian's widow, and his mother, Linda Simonson, are the grand marshals for the Jamesport Parade this year, which is taking place on March 30th in Jamesport. So I hope everybody can come and share their day with them.
very good.
Come on.
Appreciate it. Okay, we have somebody online. You're on, can you hear us?
Yes, thank you. Ron Hariri of Aquabog. And first of all, I want to thank Denise Civiletti, an award-winning journalist, and Alec Lewis of Riverhead Local for their insightful interpretation and provision of the black and white emails. And despite your assurances, I think that the emails speak for themselves, and they can cause some concern. I would ask if any of the board members, including the supervisor and Mr. Rothwell, what explanation there is for the fact that one of the most prolific donors to Riverhead's Republican Party, namely Joe Petroselli, is copied on those emails, including specifically an email setting up a meeting with Messrs. Hubbard and Rothwell. And I asked the question because not only has the developer in question provided donations to both of you, Mr. Hubbard, Supervisor Hubbard, and Mr. Rothwell, Mr. Petroselli continues to seem to have a favored status in our town. So what is the explanation for why he continues to be copied and involved in transactions involving a different developer?
You'd have to ask Mr. Petroselli, I would assume. I have no idea.
Thank you. Maybe we will be asking those questions, and I hope that Councilor Civiletti will get to those questions. I have another question, and it's really addressed to the town attorney. We previously discussed the town's litigation in Supreme Court involving Canal House. I recently read that it is a matter that has been settled. So, Mr. Howard, could you tell me what fines, if any, the town recovered against the defendant in that case, which just happened to be represented by Anthony Palumbo?
Mr. Hurry, so the matter was marked settled. It's pending our submitting a final stipulation of settlement. I expect that that stipulation of settlement will be signed by the defendant, and it should be included in the February 21st town board meeting to be approved by the town board. But it hasn't been.
I mean, it's actually been listed as settled already.
Yeah, Justice Riley, because we had only a few minor details to work out before we believed we had an agreement, he marked it settled, subject to restoration by letter if we, for whatever reason, break down on the negotiations.
So what is the agreement as to fines, if any?
The fines there will be fines. I'm not going to say right now because we did go back and forth on it quite a bit, Mr. Palumbo and myself. So the stipulation of settlement will clearly lay out what the fines are, and I expect that that'll be together with the resolution at the next town board meeting.
And just to clarify, I know that you've been involved in code enforcement and overseeing that responsibility. It's fair to say, as alleged in your own papers, that that this defendant operated an illegal Airbnb. That's your allegation. In fact, you sent a detective, a Riverhead police detective, to the Love Shack there, aside from a multitude of other, other irregularities and violations of zoning code and building codes. It's fair to say that the fines on that type of stuff going on for years would be many thousands of dollars.
Yeah, Mr. Hurry, without putting a number on it, I'll say it's going to be several $1,000s.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have anybody else online? Yes? Okay.
Good afternoon, Mike Foley, Reeves Park. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Mike.
I want to talk about the controversy that I believe, Tim, you put to bed by putting things as far as pre-submissions back open to the public. And certainly there's not a whole lot that you can do other than disclose the things that are being disclosed now to revisit the past. But I want to correct the record. And I want to throw something out here that probably Ken and Anne Marie are the only two that know. Maybe they shared. I've had a handful of conversations with Ken about the agriculture issue on putting this agritourism hotel up and about the problem I had with any catering or weddings that came out of it. And me and Ken had a good back and forth. I don't think we agree on everything, but certainly we had a good back and forth. And then Anne Marie apparently had a conversation with Ken, and Anne Marie sent me a detailed email talking about the changes that were being contemplated and also making some changes as a direct result, I believe, of Ken's conversation with Anne Marie about my concerns. I think most people in the room know that I am a strong advocate for the historic Sound Avenue corridor. Certainly, Joanne and I bumped heads on one occasion, and I was very thankful to her on another. She did a great job on the Beatty Hollow Farm Vineyard, and I feel she damaged our ability to protect by giving the site a house what was ultimately ruled on. But that's in a rearview mirror. We're looking forward now, and I look at what the time that Anne Marie gave me, and the language that changed as a direct result of my interaction with Ken and Anne Marie. And I'm here to tell you, even though it might not have been public, I was given all due consideration from them, and I had been in the past as well. Me and Ken have been actively involved in the weed issue and in a couple other things. Ken, I forget what they were, but certainly you've always answered my calls, and we've always had friendly and I think productive conversations that I just ended up disagreeing with you on a few things, but they happened nonetheless. And Anne Marie, I did feel that the language that she edited or changed went away a distance in making the agritourism possibility in order to save 70% of the land a possibility. At the public hearing, certainly I intend to attend it and say we really do need to tighten up the language to make sure that there are no wedding receptions or those kind of events there. Because catering halls should not be on Sound Avenue, period. We just need to go back to some of the planning board back and forths between me and Joanne to make that plain. But the point I'm trying to make is that it wasn't just developers that had access to them. Anybody that had an idea had the ability to go before the planning board. And some of the ideas were zany and never got pen to paper, and some of them were good, and I guess pen got to paper. But I guess what I want to say is that we are going to have a public hearing on this. I'm hopeful that we can tighten up the language so that there will not be weddings or catering events on any of these 100-lot plus properties, that they do go along the way of having agritourism. You know, obviously they're going to be nice. There'll be spas, there'll be pools, there'll be all that, but it will not be within the site of Sound Avenue or any of the roads contiguous with these properties. That is in the code. I'm concerned about the bluffs. We haven't discussed the bluffs and clearing all those things. And I'm sure that'll be something that comes up. But I want, and I don't know Tom Hughes. And because of the company he keeps, I take him that he's a guy, a well-meaning guy, because certainly I have high regard for Kathy McGraw. But I want to tell you, with 100% certitude, I believe in the integrity and honesty of Anne Marie Prudenti, Dawn Thomas, and Tim Hubbard. I believe they're all beyond reproach. And to insinuate that $1,000 check would turn Tim around, the guy that's been in here for generations, has been in law enforcement for 35 years, and is now serving the people here. What differences do we see in the last month from what we have been subjected to for the last 4 years with the last supervisor? I think that speaks for itself, and I want you to consider that going forward. Thank you.
Mike, do you have a twin brother that would like to comment too?
I don't, but you know my wife, you met her once, and she has asked me to read this for you. In light of the supervisor's notifying of the extra time I was allotted, she yields back her time to the supervisor. Thank you.
Mike, thank you for the comments, much appreciated, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure.
And I do appreciate, Mike, your comments and our conversations have directly changed some of the language in our legislation that's been put forth because of your help and assistance. So I thank you very much.
Well, and I think it's important that the people understand that, Ken, that it's not just a developer. If people reach out, and, you know, certainly I'm on vacation, I consider this critical business. I consider the town's business with the comp plan and EPCAL and everything else to be possibly the most consequential next 3 or 4 years in the history of this town that will shape its direction, its economy, and its rural appearance for the next 50 years. That's why I take the time to do this when I'm on vacation. And I am very, very thankful that I've got Tim in the center seat here. I really am. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Here's Kathy. We got a conference call. Hi, Kathy.
No, we're done? Okay. All right. Nobody else from the public wanting to speak? Okay, I just want to add one thing to what Mike just said. He mentioned I don't care that he mentioned me, but he mentioned Dawn and Anne Marie, and I 100% agree with that. But I also want to add Matt Charters to that group also, because the work that has been done on all these projects, and our planning department, Greg Berman and Heather Trojanowski, they're incredible, and they do a fantastic job, and I really appreciate it. And our good workers will be portrayed as good workers by this town board. So we appreciate what you do, and if we have nobody else coming up to speak and we have nobody online, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the town board meeting. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second, third.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Everybody have a great weekend. I hope your Super Bowl team wins, and those of you who are bettors, I hope you win some money. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody. Hi, Gwen.